all right. Let's make sure we are all set. Quick refresh, boom. And let's see if we got audio. Yes, sir. What's going on, family? Hope you guys are having an awesome evening. This is House of Hill Horror series. Oh, y'all still putting stuff in here from earlier. Okay. All right, we're all good. We got action. Let's go. Let's see here. It says rookie question. How the heck do you guys customize your chat names out? Yeah, so Camden, basically it's just your username you started IM with. Usually you can log into your actual account and you can change your name. I think they let you change it like whenever you want, or it might cost down the line. I don't know. Everybody been going crazy with names though. Like once you make a name, it's like a thing after that. But the thing is, like, you want to get a name you can keep, because if you keep changing it, obviously nobody's gonna remember you. It's like a gamer tag. Like it's a whole thing. All right, what's going on, fam? What's up, Randy? What's up, Crypto EJ? What's going on, Ty? What up, Yoshi? We got Manda in the building. We got T United in the house. Sheesh, let me do this real quick. All right. What's going on, Millions? We got Yuki in the house. What's up, Yuki? Charlie in the building. Bradley in the building. See here. We got, is it Rarazia? I'm sure I'm saying it right. All right, we got audio. You already know. All right. Let's see here. Let's go. Oh, no problem, Camden. I mean, Camden's a good name. I keep it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I keep it. It looks lit. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see what's going on, fam. We got Tong in the building. What's up, Klebs? What's going on, Damon? All right, smooth. All right, bet. So let me go ahead and shrink my big mug down. Now let's jump right into the source. All right, so quick refresh of old coin gecko, oldcoingecko.com. We got Bitcoin hanging out 27,000, Ethereum at 1,800, right? Tether's at $1, BNB's at 314, and we got USD coin at 99 cents. Who would have thunk it? XRP still hanging out here at 42 cents. We're gonna talk about XRP today a little bit because I got some insights on this one. I really do. Like I feel like there's something coming to a head, and I warned everybody. I said in the next few weeks, I think XRP is gonna go crazy, and folks are gonna miss the boat on it. But we'll see. We'll talk about it. All right. And looking at some of the top performers for today, right? BitGet, right? Tether Gold, Pax Gold. Obviously, these are emulating the price of gold. We got dollar. Obviously, stable coins are the bee's knees right now because everybody's getting out of the market, sitting on the sideline. So no gripes against that. Obviously, we know how the game is played. We know how this stuff goes down. So for me, this is really about just being patient again. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the stuff I've been noticing in the market. So let's just kind of go over here real quick. Now, I already know we looked at render, but let's go over here. And I want to kick it with you guys for just a moment because I think a lot of people aren't really seeing what I'm seeing. And it goes a long way because I know I'm a pattern person, right? I'm a pattern person, and I feel like right now we're aligning ourselves with a pattern, okay? And I want to do this right now. Let's just say somewhere over in here, right? That's what I want to do right now. I'm going to keep that right there. I'm going to make that red for now. Actually, let's make that a different color. Let's make that pink for now. Okay. So understanding that we've seen a lot of wild price action in the market. I'm going to get rid of all these extra lines. I know I got stuff all over this chart. All right. We've seen a lot of wild things in the market. We get it. Prices are wild. Things are crazy. Everybody's all up in arms about what's going on and how it's going to happen and the way it should happen and what's not happening and all of that, right? We look at the dollar index right now, and we got the dollar index just literally falling off of a cliff, right? We saw a little bit of a rise up, and I said, we'll see how the week ends. Sure enough, we got that news, pushed us lower, closed below, and now we're testing areas again. It's the beginning of the week, so we're going to see how this all plays out. If we go to the dollar, the daily here on the dollar, notice that this trend line has been really pushing the dollar up against a rock and a hard place. Like, we haven't been able to really do too much of anything lately. So I want to see how it fares moving forward. If we do start to break out, great. If not, I think we may see a bigger move down, because I told you guys, the more time we spend at a level, the weaker it becomes. And we've been just chipping away at the bottom of this zone. It's only so much it can take before this thing just falls apart. Like, we're not even going to act like that's normal for the dollar, especially. Okay. Now, there are a couple of things I want to really run by you guys. One is, I know a lot of times we're on like CoinGecko, all we really show are like the gas fees for Ethereum, right? We don't really show the gas fees for Bitcoin. Well, the gas fees for Bitcoin have been absolutely outrageous. Like, it's been unheard of. It should be nowhere near as high as it is right now, right? So if you're sending a regular, normal transaction on BTC's network, it's going to run you $3. If you're trying to speed that bad boy up, I've seen it as high as $20. Okay? Like, it's a thing. Now, what in the world is doing all of this to Bitcoin's network right now? Because this is a big deal, and I want you guys to understand. Because I know I might nerd out a little bit, but this is important, and I want you guys to understand why it's important, okay? Because some people are like, oh, here goes Kurt. He's about to nerd out and talk about blockchain stuff again. Clearly, we're on DCX, but let's just ignore that, all right, for a second. Because it gets like that. It's like, oh, my God, why is he talking about blockchain stuff? Just show the charts, for crying out loud. Give me a coin, Curtis. Jeez. All right. So obviously, we're paying attention right now. I've seen this as high as $20, right? And we see every time a block gets pushed through, right, this number change. I already went up to 15. Us just sitting here talking. So what are one of the reasons why the fees right now to send Bitcoin are so high? Because of the ordinals. If you don't know what ordinals are, they are the new NFTs being created on Bitcoin's blockchain. Now, minting NFTs on Bitcoin's blockchain are very different from minting NFTs on Ethereum's network, right? Like, you got to know the difference here, because it's a bigger deal than we're making it out to be. And I'm going to bring it all home, so just stay with me for a second. So understanding that ordinals are causing an issue on Bitcoin's network. And the thing about it is, whenever you put something on Bitcoin's blockchain, it's a very big deal, right? Because we know Bitcoin has a finite amount, correct? Right? It's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin, period. Now, the space on Bitcoin's blockchain is also very important, because we understand that it's built to hold a certain amount of data. Got you. Now, we're already seeing layer 2 solutions being built out on Bitcoin's network already, right? There's something called, let's see here, BRC20s. All right. We're already starting to get these being made, right? So there are, people like Bitcoin's BRC20 economic skyrockets, right? Or these BRC20 tokens near 1 billion market cap as exchange list ordinals, right? So we know what's happening right now. Everybody's going crazy to get ordinals and all the above, but it's forcing the transactions to cost more because the blockchain has just been bogged up, right? Like, the mempool is just super clogged right now. It's never been this clogged as it is right now. We've seen, times where it's been bad. This is the worst that it's ever been, right? And it'll pass like everything else has passed as well. But I want you to think back. Some of my OGs in the room. Think back to when Ethereum was in its early stages and we saw the onset of something called CryptoKitties. If you don't know what CryptoKitties is, we can look it up for a moment, right? Just to kind of, all right, CryptoKitties game. All right. Now, CryptoKitties at one point actually almost shut down the Ethereum network. It was making transactions outrageous. Like, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Like, CryptoKitties was like the biggest deal back when they first launched. Now, no one talks about CryptoKitties. I'm going to make a point about this. All right. So stay with me. I believe that what we're seeing right now with the BRC20 is the beginning of Bitcoin's network leaning into a lot of what Ethereum has created. Now, what does that mean? That simply means that there's going to be some layer 2s launching on Bitcoin's network. We already seen some of the layer 2s being launched on Bitcoin's network, right? Let's see here if we have a category for BRC20s yet. I don't know if they've done it, because if they do, CoinGecko is just the bee's knees. I don't know if they have BRC20s or not. All right, let's see. It's not looking like it. They may. I may have to do a little bit more of a dive to see, and we can probably do that by just going to something like Stacks. All right. All right. So, no, we don't have anything extra. Sometimes you'll have like the extra little stuff at the bottom. Maybe if we typed in ordinals, let me see. No. Ordinals. Let's see. Yeah, so they haven't added the tab for BRC20s yet, which is fine. I'm cool with that. But this is a whole, I don't even know if this probably isn't even it right now either. Yeah, this is a whole weird thing they're trying to capitalize. Ignore that coin. That's not I thought it was the NFTs. That's not even it. All right. So anyway, see here, this is already so good. Okay, so right now, Stacks is one of the first layer 2s built on top of Bitcoin. All right, which is actually pretty cool, right? Because we wanted to see how this stuff was going to work out. So we're already seeing, right, a Bitcoin layer for smart contracts, right? Basically what Ethereum is, but we're seeing a Bitcoin version of that, which is dope. But here's the thing. I believe over time, if Stacks or whatever one of these layer 2s starts to take off and run, we could start to see the onset of not so much of an Ethereum competitor, but the onset of a new wave, right? Now, anybody here remember CryptoPunks? Yeah, everybody's saying, oh, the ordinals are going to be that version of CryptoPunks. Hold on. The ordinals are the first wave of NFTs on Bitcoin. What was the first wave of NFTs on Ethereum? The CryptoKitties. The same thing happened, right? We saw what? Ethereum launch. We saw CryptoKitties. We got all excited. Now, I'm not turning this into an NFT class. I'm just simply saying, stay tuned to Bitcoin's network, and whatever one of these layer 2s, we're going to be watching throughout the bull run. So just know we're not going to miss it. But whatever one of the layer 2s starts to take off and starts to launch NFTs, oh my gosh, that could be your next opportunity to catch the next potential CryptoPunk or Bored Ape being built on top of Bitcoin's network. Because once again, I told you, anything built on top of Bitcoin's network is very precious and it's very important. Now, I get the ordinals and all that good stuff are getting their wave and everybody's excited about ordinals because they take up a certain amount of space on Bitcoin's layer 1, which has everybody like, we don't really like that. We don't want to see Bitcoin being bogged down with a bunch of weird pictures. And I get it. Because obviously we see what's going on right now on the mempool. The transactions are crazy, right? We know, obviously, it's going up as we speak right now. We're almost at $17, right? So it's a big deal to pay attention to this stuff, because not only can we not get caught on the wrong side of, sending funds on Bitcoin's network and watching it get stuck, and we're at $17 now, right? If you want to be able to track this stuff as well, just remember this one website, right? Mempool.space. That's what we like to utilize when we're checking to see what the fees are at the moment and what they could be if you wanted to speed it up and pay more money to speed your transaction up, right? Because we know we can go to Etherscan to see how all those transactions move on Ethereum's network. Mempool.space is definitely a great place to come look, and you can see how everything's going. Also, we got Lightning Network and all that kind of stuff too. So it's growing, it's building, it's getting better, right? So we know what we're looking at. We get it. Everybody's all excited and all that kind of stuff. But this whole scenario right now, with Bitcoin's blockchain being bogged down and how this stuff is moving, you got to be mindful of where this stuff is going in the future. And I think we're lining ourselves up to see a lot more ERC on our BRC20s pop off, because now if we start seeing layer 2s, it can take this and push it lower, right? That's what happened with Ethereum. Ethereum's network, we were seeing, I'm sorry, up here, down here. We were seeing crazy amounts of gas fees for everything on Ethereum's network. And then what happened? We saw layer 2 start to drop, and we started seeing what? The gas fees on ETH go lower and lower. So I think we're at a place now, we're at an inflection point now where BRC20 may become a bigger and bigger and bigger deal. And we got to pay attention, because now if people know they can build on Bitcoin's network, it gives more competition to Ethereum. And here's the thing. We know Ethereum has the network effect, all that kind of stuff, but Bitcoin has the name. Bitcoin has the name, and you don't fight the name. So if somebody starts building on Bitcoin's network and they build a BRC20 token that can compete with Ethereum, people may not automatically jump over, but some people will gravitate just because it's Bitcoin. That's one of the reasons why Ordinals is blowing up the way that it's blowing up. All right. So once again, like I said, this could be an opportunity for us to pay attention and really dive in and take advantage of some really nice potential NFTs on the next big layer too. And I mean, think about it. We know what Polygon has done for Ethereum. We know what Arbitrum's doing for Ethereum. We know what the, ZK Sync and all those things are going to do for Ethereum. Even with Polygon, not Polygon, but with Uniswap has done for Ethereum, right? What does it look like when we start seeing what? A lot of other projects start to pop up and they're starting to really benefit on Bitcoin's network, where we start seeing decentralized exchange built on Bitcoin's network, right? That could be game changer for a lot of people. So like I said, guys, just being mindful of that, paying attention to that, not getting too far away from that. And which brings me to my next talking point, because I just want to talk about this for a brief second. Okay. XRP. So XRP and Brad Garlinghouse has already decided that they're going to be doing a lot more business outside of America, and they're building some things right now in the EAU, with the UAE, I'm sorry, United Arab Emirates. So it's going to get much more difficult for US customers to start interacting with a lot of cryptocurrency networks and teams, because America has now pushed everybody out. And it's not attractive to be here. We're running everybody away when it comes to the blockchain space. We know the rest of the world is leaning into the blockchain space. And I don't know if y'all saw this, but I'm going to do this for a second, and I want to show y'all something. Let's see. Yup. I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but I'm going to pull this up for a second. Let's see. Let me go back over. There has been a bunch of talk about Texas trying to become independent. And right now there's this rumor that's been floating. Let me grab this and pull this over here for you guys. There's this rumor that's been floating around that Texas wants to join BRICS. And there's also another rumor where we're going to be repositioning the U.S. Treasury and moving it to Texas, which is wild, but we'll see, right? So there's a whole thing going on with that. But I kind of want to talk to you guys about Windows, right? So not anything with Apple and Microsoft. So when I say Windows, everybody's like, oh, here goes Kurt with the Windows saying, here goes Mike in the chat. See what I'm saying? And there it is. There. What's going on, Mike? So we got windows of opportunity. That's what I mean, guys. Like, so I was talking about XRP. I know you guys all understand the court case for XRP right now is pretty much coming to a close. Everybody knows it's coming. We have windows of opportunity, not windows in Microsoft. I mean, windows in life. We have a certain amount of time, we have a certain amount of allotted time to take advantage of certain situations. And I believe the time for XRP is running to a close for people who have missed out on capitalizing, people who have not really, dove into this project and decided that it was something that was worthy of their portfolio. Right. But we don't try to get you guys to, sway or do anything into our way of thinking. We want to make sure we give you the information so you can make an informed decision. I'm noticing with all the different things that are happening right now in the cryptocurrency space and all the different things that are happening right now when it comes to banking, XRP is in a very lucrative position. The moment the court case is over, whether it's good, bad, settlement, whatever it may be, we may see a scenario where XRP jumps out the gym. And I mean, absolutely jumps out the gym, because we know it didn't go crazy in the last bull run. It was pretty much stifled because a lot of exchanges had to remove it. And most people right now don't know how to even get their hands on XRP. Once the court case is done, you'll see a Coinbase or a Crypto.com or a Binance, right? Or a Bitfinex start to relist these things. And then when they do so, the price of XRP could go exponentially higher. But we also realize as well, it's just that the coin itself is built for banks. Right. And we know banks are all leaning into crypto right now. we're leaning into a world now where people are looking to get away from the dollar and get more involved with, decentralization, getting more involved with, things that are backed by something. This is why the BRICS nations right now, and they're calling it BRICS Plus now because it's already surpassed the initial nations that were agreeing to it. So a lot of other nations around the world are looking to get involved with it. We're looking to see states now like Texas looking to go sovereign and get involved with it because they're just sick and tired of the rules. Like America has literally run everybody away. We're even running we're running states away at this point, right? And Texas has been trying to get independent for a while now. So I don't know if they're going to do it. Obviously, it'll be a whole wild thing to see that happen. But seeing what we're seeing now and how a lot of other countries are joining the BRICS agreement, it is getting really interesting. We even have like 5 oil producing nations asking to join the BRICS alliance now. So every nation that's joining wants to be in something that's backed, right? There's like a backing by everything with this new system that they're setting up now, and they're just sick and tired of having the dollar that's not really backed by much outside of military and promises. So we'll see how it all plays out in the future. But I'm saying pay attention to the windows that we have. I believe, and this is why I want to go back to this right here. I believe there's a window of opportunity to be had in October. Actually, we're going to make this teal, right? And I'm going to box this up. I want to box up the whole month of October. Okay. And boom. I believe there's a window of opportunity in this area. And why do I say that? I want to give you guys some facts first, and then we can go from there. And you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So, you know me, I like the research stuff. I looked up when the last financial crisis happened, right? Just to kind of get my eyes on it and think about it. September 2008. Okay, the end of September 2008. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's no big deal, all right, no big whoop. Then I looked up when was the crash before that one. All right, we're talking about over here, Black Monday, October 19th, 1987. Okay, and I said, okay, what was the last big one before that one? Let's go over here and let's bring this over here. And you can see what I mean here. This one was what? Anybody remember when this date was? October 28th, 1929. So we got end of September, October. Does anybody know when harvest season is? Right? Anybody know when it's time to go and take your harvest from out of the ground? Anybody have any idea when harvest season usually kicks off? Between September to November. This is why Thanksgiving is in when? And there you go. So we know harvest season happens between September to November. How convenient almost every single financial crash has happened at the end of the year during September to November. Pay attention to harvest season, family. A lot of wild things happen during harvest season in the year. Most of the black swan events that happen during harvest season. I'm just being honest. All right. So I want to put this on you guys' radar, because if and when something does happen, FTX, November, you see why we don't get upset when stuff happens in the market. We kind of see this stuff kind of plays out most of the times. It's best months besides the crashes. I mean, honestly, but you think about what? You think about the cycles. You think about where we're at right now in our cycles, right? You think about the years these things have happened from 2008 to 1987 all the way. I mean, if you looked up just market crashes, period, right here, 2020 or 1929, we're lining ourselves up to let history potentially repeat itself. This is like another 100 years, right? We're like a couple years off, right? But COVID pretty much sped it up, I guess, right? We're 100 years away from seeing the next crash. This was the Great Depression when this happened. This was the Great Crash, right? Black Tuesday. This was Black Monday. Black Monday was where, what's his name? Paul Tudor Jones, right, became who he was on Black Monday. He was one of the top stock market analysts that made the most during that crash on Black Monday back in the 80s, right, leading into the 90s, right? So seeing stuff like this to me is one of those things where it's like you can try to ignore it, but it's honestly one of those scenarios where if you're paying attention, you start to really pick up on how this stuff works. And there's always like this threat of a looming war when these markets correct, when these markets correct, right? Always. It's always there. Back in 1930, right? Or 1929, we had the threat of a war, right? 1989, threat of a war, right? 2008, threat of a war, right? Here we are now, 2023, threat of a war, right? And I feel like most people aren't picking up on it. Why am I saying all of this? Why am I getting you guys all into the thought process of what this stuff is? If we see another potential Black Swan event, it could happen in October of this year and then potentially affect the election for a next. Come on, family. And I told you guys, whenever it gets very quiet in the news cycle, whenever we don't have anything going on, I mean, I'm gonna ask you guys right now, when was the last time Joe Biden talked about banks collapsing? Or when was the last time you heard Joe Biden say the word financial system? Like, he ain't kicked it. When the last time you heard Kamala Harris even speak? There you go. So if we understand that everybody's being quiet, ain't nobody saying nothing, something's coming. This is the thing I try to get my mind wrapped around when I see people not looking. I'm like, don't pay attention to what they're saying. Pay attention to what they're not talking about, right? Usually they're setting up and practicing for the next big thing they got to talk about a lot, right? And mind you, yes, Joe Biden's going to run again and whoever else is going to run, all that kind of stuff. He's being so quiet, almost as if he's confident that he has something up his sleeve to get him back in office. Because right now, bro, you look bad. You ain't said nothing about nothing. And you just announced you about to run again. Something going on. I think we got an incoming Black Swan event, incoming harvest coming in between September to November. I think October, we could get some fireworks. So I'm not calling it. I'm not trying to put my whole conspiracy theory on you, but I'm saying think about how these align. And end of the year, we start seeing some wild stuff potentially happen. We got to be prepared. How do we get prepared? What do we need to be doing? Cash is king right now. All right. That's the biggest thing you got to remember. Cash is king until it's not. So knowing what we know right now with the dollar index hanging out at these levels, yes, the dollar may drop off substantially, hit some levels, put a bunch of fear on everybody. We see all the BRICS nations get in agreement, all that kind of stuff. And then the dollar falls to a very profitable level potentially. We drop down, run into a nice zone of rally, base, rally. Zoom in on that for you for the one time. All right. We had that nice rally, base, right, flatlined, and boom, rallied out of there. If prices come back down into these areas here, right, the 98s, that's not it. That's not it. I think we could absolutely cascade through that, retest off of it, and then come down here into the 94s all the way to the 92s. And me and Mike talked about this recently in a previous call. But I'm saying right now, 92 to me makes a lot of sense as well, because you're looking at the bigger picture. Let's go to the weekly. The bigger picture, right, here, well, no, we can go there, right? We're looking at what? 50%, 618 zone potentially in this zone. And it brings us to what? Big move down, hitting areas right around what? 786, 886 from the previous level over here. All right, let's bring this back up. Previous level over here. 786, 886, how convenient, right at the level, right? So it gives us all that extra confluence lining up in areas where we need to see it. And I'm not trying to get everybody all like, oh man, it has to happen. I'm just saying pay attention to where we are and what happens moving forward from here, because it's looking like right now everybody's on the same page, and it's just the American people aren't, right? Fed's working with the banks. I see JP Morgan and everybody else all cool with buying up other banks and stuff, like they know something. Byron's being quiet. Kamala's being quiet. Nobody has an answer for banks falling apart. Jerome Powell just keeps on chugging along, raising the interest rates. and it's just business as usual. And I'm thinking to myself, there's not any transparency happening right now in the news. They got rid of the last dude who was making noise, which is Tucker Carlson, and everybody else has just been sitting back playing ball. Like, they put the fear of God into every journalist in America. Like, nobody's talking about nothing, right? Like, it's like you got to search around just to even get somebody that's even remotely in a mood to say something about what's going on with the dollar, right? So for me, trading for the last few years, 2016, looking at this stuff for a while now, and just kind of getting to a place where I'm like, yeah, this all is making some sense now. Because normally when it does this, typically this stuff happens, right? Everybody kind of gets lulled to sleep by the lack of news and lack of paying attention to the finances, and then boom, crazy stuff, right? So all in all, I would say keep an eye open. I just gave you guys a heads up when harvest seasons are popping up. September was Great Depression. I'm sorry, it was a 2008 crash, one of the biggest ones, right? We got 1987 for Black Monday, made a lot of people money in the stock market, leading into the 90s being as lit as they were for stockbrokers. Everybody remember, like, any movie back in the 90s, the best job you had was a stockbroker. Think about it. Anybody you saw back in the day, they would show them driving in a drop top convertible, whatever, BMW, Lamborghini, Mercedes, whatever it would be. They would have the cell phone into the car, right? They had like the suit that was way too big for them with shoulder pads. And all of them would have a briefcase and say, oh, I'm a stockbroker, right? Or I'm a day trader, right? Like if you traded in the 90s, you were that dude. You had a computer, like it was, oh my God, he's got a computer and he trades and he has a cell phone. Wow, right? Like it was a real thing. Think about it. After every crash, right? 2008, people got into the markets, made crazy money from 2009, 10, 11, 12, 15, right? All of that stuff. People just kept making money hand over fist throughout those years. And then here we are running into the 2020s, right? And now all of a sudden, it's like history repeating itself. Just put a 20 and we sped it up because of COVID. So now we're like 2023, right? This crash may take a lot of people out of the game, but the people that are paying attention are going to be the ones that look like the geniuses in the 90s that jumped in the market, right? And mind you, this right here, I'm going to put y'all guys up on something right quick. With this marked the change of our entire economy in America. And I'll get back into the charts in just a second, but I want you guys to understand what I mean by this. We're going to see another change as well. The changing of the guard. After this crash happened, we went from an industrial nation to a service-based nation. You don't believe me? Think back when your grandparents all had jobs. Your grandparents and uncles and all that stuff back in the day had jobs. Everybody either worked at a plant, a factory, they were a mechanic, or they did some sort of contracting where they were a plumber, electrician, carpenter, something where you worked with your hands, right? Everybody we know growing up had a job where they worked with their hands. After this crash, we went from an industrial-based nation to a service-based nation. All the jobs went from man working with their hands to clerical, administrative jobs, and that's when everybody found a niche in the office. That's why the stockbroker was the only real manly job left. People ran to that. Everything else was clerical. You had to be working in an office, working on a phone, right? Doing something of that nature, or you were trying to be a police officer or go to the military. That's what the 90s looked like. There was no, or you were doing something in IT, something tech-based. Right? There wasn't a lot of, let's go work at the factory. There were all the factory jobs were leaving America, going somewhere else. So we know this marked the changing of a guard. Guys, this marked the changing of a guard as well with the financial system, right? Going from one thing to a new thing, Bretton Woods Agreement, all that good jazz. This right here marked the changing of the guard as well when we saw what? The new housing standards get set in play. What's going on, Slop? All right. So you see what I'm saying here, guys. I think the next big one potentially may be a changing of the guard again, going from Web 2.0, Web 3.0, and potential new financial system. I don't know if the BRICS nations are going to do it, but hey, this is what we're doing. All right. So this is what I'm saying, fam. Like, this is where we're at right now. This is the name of the game. Pay attention to the writing on the walls. Everything is literally getting in a position right now where we're seeing tons of data show us what? The dollar is getting weaker, right? It looks like a setup to me. I'm not going to hold you. Dollar's getting weaker. We may see not only a potential Gartley, maybe even a butterfly pattern where it comes all the way down to a 786, right? Bounces off of these areas and then takes back off again, tests some lower areas, maybe just below these areas. It bounces off here, comes back and tests these zones, and then we get another major move down again, bouncing even lower into these areas for another move higher, right? I'm just saying, you guys don't believe me? You guys don't believe me? So, what does it look like? Right? You got low to high, 786 zone, price pulls back up. They throw the extension on here from X to A to get the extension down here. They're looking for 127 or 1618. I'm just going to put the extension on X to A so y'all can see what I mean. So that way you won't think I'm just making this stuff up. So we go into our trend base extension. This is what they do from here back up to here and boom. All right. And this tells us, oh, how convenient that these levels would be either in alignment in certain zones. All right. I'm just saying, family. Let's see. Let's take our fib from the low point. I think it was this one, from the low point to the high point here. All right. You seeing all the levels here, 786, 886, right? 124, 1618. So essentially they're telling us, go down here and grab my box. Anything from here down to here is fair game after that pattern is all completely falling apart. Because we'll have to come down here and then it could finish from 127 all the way down to 1618. Typically we like the 127, and that's the butterfly pattern at its best. Now think about what I just said. Prices come all the way down, bounce, pull back up, and then we get a major sell-off back down again. How convenient would that be? Right? Or it could just stay the course, do what it's been doing, and give us a traditional Gartley or whatnot. But if not, I'm paying attention to all the signs, family. That's all I'm saying. I just want to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. And like I said, if the dollar falls off a cliff, all it does is give me more fuel for the fire. What time of year is it happening in? What time of year does it make sense in? Right? What time of year do these things typically happen in? September, October, November are all the months to look out for. I know we're early, but I want to prep you guys because I feel like having capital on the sideline goes a long way, as opposed to having it in a bank and them telling you you can't access it. Yep. That part. So I'm not saying walk around like you Floyd Mayweather, but I'm saying be mindful. Be mindful of just putting money in there and saying, oh, it's safe because the FDIC is going to potentially, hopefully, because the Fed can't do everything. And now we already see banks buying other banks. Right? I told you guys when economies get rough, banks cannibalize each other. They start devouring each other. We just saw JP Morgan Chase eat up another bank. Right? Eventually, they only wanted to be maybe a top 4 or 5 banks in the country. And even then, they'll eventually break it down to a top 3. And those top 3 will probably be owned by like 2 families. So it just is what it is at this point. Like, you don't want to get caught on the wrong side of it, guys. Like, I'm telling you now, be mindful. Be mindful. Pay attention to the signs. Take advantage of the opportunities that we do have in the market right now. And not only that, like I said before, we know what's going on with these BRC20 tokens pretty much getting ready to launch on Bitcoin's network. We have opportunities because now we know Bitcoin's network, the fees are fluctuating, right? Let's see here. Did we get down to a lower price? Looked like it was $8 a minute ago. Okay, yeah, so we're at $8 right now, so it's working itself lower now. Just take some time, right? So like I said before, family, like this stuff's going to go up and down, back and forth. But the solution is layer 2s for this problem to just go away completely. And in doing so, it brings us to a place where we can start paying attention to other layer 2s that are going to start competing with stacks and trying to do what they did, but in a better way. All right. And I see the writing on the wall. Like I'm watching it and I'm thinking to myself, is anybody else paying attention to how this stuff all played out? This thing launched down, it was an all-time low. All-time low was 4 cents. This thing's already at, it tapped out at $3. Right now it's at 71 cents, guys. Like, look, what does it look like? And I'm gonna ask you guys this question. If we know that this network is being clogged up now, what does it look like when the bull run starts? That's my question to you guys, right? If we know this is a problem right now and we're not even seeing crazy amount of transactions, it's just the network is having issues with people minting ordinals on the network. What happens when there's a ton of people all on Bitcoin's network trying to get BTC and send BTC, and big, networks and exchanges and all that kind of stuff are trying to move Bitcoin around and they simply can't? We need to find a solution, and ASAP. Layer twos. It's not going to take all day for somebody to adopt onto a layer 2. Basically how we saw what happened with Polygon, right? I said the same thing to myself. I said, we know Ethereum can't hold all of this down by itself. What are the top layer 2 solutions? This wasn't as easy as coming in here, clicking categories and going layer 1s, layer 2s, and being amped up about it. It was like, I need to see what's happening right now for Ethereum to grow, right? And we knew Polygon was in the running. There was a few others that were in the running, right? Even this one right now is getting a lot of attention because of what just happened with Avalanche, right? Like, I'm not Avalanche, I'm sorry. Let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, these guys right here, all right, Aave version 3 launches on Ethereum layer 2, right? Metis, some people call it Metis, whatever you want to call it. But Aave is now launching their layer 3 on this platform because they know what layer 2s, right, are the answer to helping a lot of these networks grow, right? Boba network is pretty much in the same category as Optimism and Arbitrum. This project I've been looking at for a while. I've been debating on adding it to the list, but I felt like there was too much venture capitalist money in it trying to keep up with Optimism and Arbitrum, and I was sort of kind of right, because you can look at the actual price action right now, right? Like, a lot of VC money went into Boba, and obviously you can see what happened. It shot up and it came right back down. This project it has potential, but I just don't like it was just so much VC money went into this. It reminded me a lot of the Graph, and when the Graph, all the VC money left the Graph. I love the Graph now, right? But this one for me, it didn't make the list because of that. But it's in the running. It's like third behind like Arbitrum, right? Like it's in there. It has a network. It has use case. Has a lot of people utilizing it. I couldn't get behind it because of the VC money. Now that it's kind of flatlining, I'm a little more excited about it. I'm not gonna lie, because any rise from here is gonna show organic growth, right? But Boba Network was gonna make the list. It just didn't make the list. It didn't check enough boxes. The VC money was too much. I didn't want to throw it on a list and everybody did research on it and watch it just lie there. So if we start seeing some growth and we get some higher lows and higher highs, I'll definitely add it back in. And if you guys want to put it on your watch list, feel free. But I give you guys transparency about certain ones that got close and just, honorable mention type stuff. It didn't make the grade. All right. But these are things I like to kick it with you guys about. There's another project as well on Poly. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. I like having multiple monitors so I can just share so much with y'all. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, so Polygon. And let me see here. Here you go. Boom. This is even better. Better description. Okay, so you can see here, right? Polygon Hermes. Is Polygon Hermes the same blockchain, right? Hermes and Polygon. Hermes are two names for the same rollup. Hermes is an open source ZK rollup that aims to be optimized for secure, low cost, usable token transactions on the wings of Ethereum, right? So it's all about having that ZK rollup and inside of Polygon's network, right? And I told you guys about how Optimism works. how, you know, ZK rollups. So, you know, we have like Optimism, and then we got, you know, ZK rollup. And it's just, they both are going to help Ethereum scale. It's just all about which one gets adopted more. That's all it really boils down to. So when I see stuff like this being popped up on Polygon's network, I'm like, dude, fees are already like super cheap. If they do this, it'd almost be non-existent. So I'm paying attention to stuff like this. Like this for me is a big deal. All right. So I kind of keep you guys in the know of stuff that I'm watching, so you guys can keep up with it. That's all it really boils down to. That's pretty much it. All right. That's all. That's all. See if I can pull it up for y'all over here. All right. So stuff like this for me is one of those things where it's like I have to consistently keep an eye on it, because I get it. It's exciting. People get amped up when they see it for the first time. But for me, I know what this stuff looks like. Stuff like this, where it's been up, it's been down, it's been up, it's been down, and this project's, you know, a couple years old. I can't just get excited and say it's going to be a home run, right? So for me, I got to keep looking at it. It did make the list. It was one of those things I kept researching and researching and researching. I like what it does. I love that it's on Polygon's network. I think it has crazy upside. It's just adoption has to be there. Community has to be there. Understanding has to be there. And most people don't even understand how like ZK stuff works when it comes to zero knowledge proofs and all of that. And I'm not about to get all into the nerdiness of it, but I just want to make sure you guys really get why I do what I do the way I do it. It's not about giving y'all every single solitary thing. It's about making sure you understand. And mind you, all I did was clicked on Hermes.io, right? And it took me right to Polygon's network. And it's just talking about zero knowledge, EVM, right? So they're making a zero knowledge Ethereum virtual machine. So they want to make sure they can kind of copy what ZK Sync is doing for Ethereum on Polygon's network. And they're using Hermes network to kind of bridge all of that together. All right. But yeah, always making sure I'm giving you guys the ins and outs of how stuff is lining up for me a lot of times. Let's see here. It says, how do you do your research? How do you know the reputable sites? So for me, I'm looking at sites that aren't bought out by other big entities. And that's one of the reasons why I like CoinGecko so much over CoinMarketCap. I used to use CoinMarketCap every day. I know people who will swear by CoinMarketCap. I can't. I just I tried to go back and use it. It was rough. Like even when I go pull it up, man, like it's, for one, it's super slow now. Oh my goodness, just going to it is like, ugh. All right, so boom. Let's see here. So yeah, this is CoinMarketCap. It's still loading. I don't like it. I don't like it, man. Now you can see CoinMarketCap. Yeah, it has all these. So this was like the go-to site back in the day, right? Like I would be over here all day long researching, doing my thing, going ham. It was dope. I loved it, but something happened, and when this happened, they lost me. All right, and I'll explain to you guys what happened. So I was over here doing my thing, and then one day I realized I wanted to just kind of like get deeper into, you know, the website in general, and I got to going crazy research and stuff. And then I realized, let me see here, that this company had gotten bought out by Binance. And after I found out they got bought out by Binance, I was done. I didn't want to even research anymore because I knew they had a bias. I was done at that point. Like I didn't want to be on a website where they're going to switch up what they want to do to fit their narrative. That for me was it. I was done. Like 2020, CoinMarketCap was acquired by Binance. It was, okay, cool. Next, CoinGecko it is. And I was done. CoinGecko, fast, reliable, not owned by any of those weird exchanges or weird third-party people. No, I was cool with that. I was like, fine. You guys give me unbiased research. I'm not worried about it. And for me, CoinMarketCap had changed up the way that you could even research stuff. Like everything just got really weird on this site overnight. And a lot of people that worked here quit because they didn't like the way things were being ran. It became a very biased site. Like back in the day, when you went to look at coins, you could see the different networks and stuff that they were on, which I thought was like super cool. Like if I wanted to go look up, something like Chainlink, it would break down. You see, I clicked on it already. It's taking all day for it to load. Like it's just way slower. You get a way worse experience. Like this thing is crawling every time I click on something, right? It rubbed me the wrong way, right? So you'll notice here, I'm looking through and I want to see what network Chainlink is built on top of, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, where is Ethereum? Where is Ethereum? I got to go down here and boom, I found it. Back in the day, they would let me come in here and just search all of it. It would say ERC20, Ethereum, everything all lined up. And they started moving everything around and changing it up. And now it's like, it's way more tailored for what they want you to see and not what's just simple and plain and right in front of you. Right? Like I couldn't really get with it. For me, it didn't make a lot of sense. And you'll notice everything is going to be just Binance based, Binance based, Binance based. Everything is going to be Binance, 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 regardless of everybody else. Like it's a whole energy. Like if you go to Binance coin on here, like everything is just flawless for those guys. It's weird. Like I hit back and it takes all day for this thing to load. Like I'm like, yeah. It just, for me, guys, certain times when you realize who's doing what and how things are working, you kind of just stop playing the game, right? I go to Binance Coin, and for me, I didn't like it. Like Binance Coin, it's like, yeah, I get it. You guys got a lot of money, and you guys got everything loaded, and everything's locked and loaded and ready to go, and all of that stuff. But for me, nah, it was a hard no for me, bro. Like all the bells and whistles, Binance, everything, right? All the articles, everything you're looking for is like, if you're looking for anything Binance related and you love the BNB network, CoinMarketCap is going to be your best friend. They're going to give you everything you want under the sun when it comes to that. Like there is no not getting the data, right? BNB chain, first and foremost, as soon as you scroll down, one iota is right there waiting on you. All right. So for me, yeah, no. I come over here, everything I want right in front of me. I want to go look at new coins, right? Pops right up. I want to go back again to the first page. Boom, right back to the first page. Quick, right? Just made sense. All right, here. I'm ripping it apart. I feel like I was. Since Kurt really don't like it. I don't. They became so biased, and it made me not like them. But yeah, just to kind of recap, all right, we may be lining up for a potential butterfly pattern. Obviously, my inner harmonic teacher coming out, but a potential butterfly pattern may be lining up for the dollar for a deeper move down. Okay. And then in turn, we may have to go ahead and wait and see how this stuff plays out in September through November with the way the market's aligning right now. Let me see here. Pull this back up. All right. So this is all of October. This over here is May. So let's just do the whole November thing here. Where we at right here? That's, oh yes, April. So let's through to November. End of November is right around here. Right up in there. And the beginning of September is right up in here. All right. That window there could get really wild for the US dollar. Right, I can even put it up on the dollar for you, so that we know we'll keep an eye on it. All right, that way we'll definitely know to be mindful. Okay, let's get rid of all this extra stuff here. And where's our horizontal? All right, so we got September, boom, to November. Boom. Keep an eye out for that territory there. Now, mind you, if this thing just starts crawling, all of a sudden we start getting spikes, don't say I didn't warn you. Do not say I did not warn you. It could definitely get wild within this little window of time. And if we start seeing a major move down now, and then we get into this season and we get a major move back up again, I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked. And we just start seeing some normalcy come back into the market and we just start working our way lower, consistently lower, because obviously this big impulsive move down has told us the sellers are in charge. Any move back up is just a relief rally, and then boom, off to the races, back down again. So ain't nobody got time for that. I'm just saying. It can get wild. Let's see here. Crypto is no different than dating. You don't know when you get run. You silly, Bobby. Just gotta watch that blue crab pattern enough, though. Let's see here. Harmonics are different going back over them, fam. No, facts. See here. Let's see. Definitely got to take your time with crypto. No, you do. But I mean, it helps to know what's going on with the dollar in this instance, because everything is aligning nicely. And like I said before, we're on the lookout for the next few layer twos on Bitcoin's network, not to mention what's going to be helping the layer two scale as well, right? That's one of the reasons why I was so excited as well when I talked to you guys about Gamma and what they could be potentially doing as well with like Unipilot, because I think over the years we've kind of focused so much on the layer ones and layer twos. Okay, layer twos are becoming a big deal, right? We know Uniswap is massive. We know Polygon is massive. Arbitrum is going to be huge. OP is going to be huge, right? ZK Sync and all that stuff is going to be huge. So we want to look at what are going to be helping those networks evolve, right? That's one of the reasons why I was betting the farm on stuff like, Rocket Pool. I know Rocket Pool is going to help Ethereum scale because not everybody has 32 ETH. It's just, obviously, it's not going to be normal for everybody in the world to have 32 Ethereum. So knowing the value of something like Rocket Pool and what it does, it just clicked. It just checked off all the boxes. And I've been telling you guys for the longest, Rocket Pool. And now all of a sudden we see Rocket Pool hitting all-time highs and making breakout moves, right? Right. And people just say, oh, well, that's cool because, it was already doing great. Like, dude, Rocket Pool jumped up to what, $60, right? Let me see here. When was the all-time high? All right. If anything, it just tapped all-time high territory again over here. And it got close over here as well on these ones. So if anything, we just double topped. And it's still not going to stop. Like, this coin literally said, what bear market? The whole bear market ignored it. It's been getting closer to all-time highs since the bear market. It bottomed out at around $8, and I've been screaming, hey, don't sleep on this bad boy. I'm trying to told you, right? And now we got what? Liquid staking governance tools, right? Lido, Rocket Pool, Frax, Anchor, Bitfrost, Persistence, BenQ, right? QI, BenQE, or whatever this is. Yeah. Never heard of it, right? Stakewise, Slater or Stater, Staffy. Guys, everybody wants a copy now. I get it. I do, but we've been talking about this one for the longest. Anchor Network's been around for a good while. We'll see how it all plays out. But I'm just looking at this thinking, okay, if this does this for Ethereum, what does this for other networks? What network is Bifrost on? Ethereum. Maybe want to compete as a competitor. So I do research on stuff like this one, right? What is Persistence Network built on top of, right? And you start thinking back like, okay, well, what is this one? Is this going to be an ERC20? Is this thing going to be built on top of another network right now? What are we doing? Is it a layer one? Is it its own thing, right? Liquid staking hub. All right, all right. So we got a layer one, powering an ecosystem of DeFi applications focused on unlocking liquidity of staked assets. All right, so it may be a layer one that's looking to come in and build a name for itself. Once again, do we need a layer one to do that? That's the biggest question I always ask myself. Like, if I'm looking to get involved with something, does something like this even serve a purpose? That's why, once again, Rocket Pool served a purpose. Everybody don't got 32 Ethereum, bro. Like, that was the first thing I'm thinking to myself. Like, most folks won't be able to stake then. If that's the premise for Ethereum staking, you got to have 32. Everybody won't make it. It's a wrap. It's just not going to work out for everybody. I saw this and said, oh, snap. And then once again, what me and Mike talk about all the time? We talk about what? Tokenomics, right? Small supply has a finite amount, right? It just clicked. It checks off boxes. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, no, facts. If you guys are trying to learn how to draw fibs, definitely go to my favorite videos on my personal channel. definitely are going to get you together. I promise you, you're going to have a great time over there watching those fifth videos. I've gotten zero complaints from people that have done the work. They all come back like, bruh. I'm like, I know, right? It's lit. So definitely. All right, fam. So we're going to wrap up here. I appreciate y'all, man. So look, tomorrow we got Roundtable. We got NFT Tuesday. First off, we got futures, though, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely don't want to miss that. It has been the hottest channel on the platform on English right now that you guys can see here. Let me see if I can bag it up for you. DCX Futures. Those guys right there. I know him. I've heard of him. Those guys right there, though. Telling you, straight heat. All right. So I'm just saying, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. You don't want to miss out. All right, fam. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'll be back on with you guys Wednesday with Mike. All right. And as usual, and as always, stay patient, stay disciplined, and the gains will come. I'm out. And, oh, yeah. Good night, everybody. Stay blessed, family. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Listen, drop a CH50 in the chat for my bro, Mike. All right. He'll be on with you guys tomorrow. NFT